Hi, this is Amrita Sukumar, and I'm bringing to you this podcast called Unsettling. Look around you. Everyone is trying to create their own story. Make a tiny change in someone's life by just following their passion and in turn, inspiring the others to follow suit. This podcast brings to you stories of people who have defied the definition of settled set by the society and have created their own. They have found happiness in their version of settled. What is yours?
Hello, listeners. Today I have with me an amazing team called the Team of Three Brick Lane. They have their own cafe. They have created this beautiful ambience that you have to go check out if you are ever in Udaipur. And so I'm going to be talking to these three wonderful people, Shivam Mantri, Neha Kabra, and Shefali Kataria. Am I pronouncing your names right?
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Yay!
Thank you so much. Woohoo. Three Brick Lane team rocking.
Shivam is not going to react, of course. बेचारा तीन लड़कियों के बीच में फंस गया है.
No, it's fine. I'm
So-
actually laughing.
He's always been surrounded by
It's
girls.
for the first time I'm laughing properly after 4 days.
Okay, so if you, the person you can hardly hear is Shivam, by the way. And the loudest, I think, is Shifu, and then next comes Neha. I have to be loud because I am the host, unfortunately.
Of course, yes. That has to be there.
Can you give the listeners an introduction about yourselves? Let's start with Shivam.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yes. We're starting with you, Shivam.
All right. Hi guys, I'm Shivam. It's been almost a year that I moved back to Udaipur, and I'm an architect. I studied in Mumbai. I worked there for a bit, and then finally I'm back. I'm practicing in Udaipur with my dad, and then we got together, and now the cafe, along with Shefali and Neha.
Right. So, Neha, what do you do?
Well, I am a fashion designer. I'm running my own clothing label. It's a sustainable label called Mati. And it's been 2 years for me since I'm doing my clothing thing. I need holidays every now and then.
Okay.
And I just like one day we got in a conversation and we thought because Shefali and Shivam had moved back. So I was just like, we should do something fun. And then we were just sitting in that lane and we decided like, why not? Let's do a cafe here.
Okay.
And we came up with the idea.
Nice.
We did it.
Awesome. What we do for fun is we go watch movies. Or maybe like
Well, we did
Netflix and
that.
chill.
It has been 2 years since I moved to Udaipur.
Okay.
So I definitely needed something better than a movie for sure.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yes.
we were over all that. Like we did all those things, and then this came up. So
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
Nice. So, Shefali, can you tell
Yes.
the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so hi everyone. This is me, Shefali, and I'm also an architect. So, and I've studied from Jaipur and I moved back to the city 1.5 years ago. And so this cafe was a very spontaneous thing which we three came up. So we three were school friends, and one day I think we were all chill. Sorry.
Nothing, sorry. Still are.
Still, sorry.
You still please.
Yeah, we
I don't want to feud
and
on my podcast.
No.
that's okay. We are much
So-
more than that. So.
Yeah. Much. Let me complete, guys. Fuck off.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I want to
So one day, the Shivam and Neha were in fact talking about it, and one day they just called me and were like, do you want to do a cafe? And we were like, and I was like, let's do it. And then this was a very spontaneous thing. Like we just called and we were like, yeah, let's do it. And we sat and discussed, and I think Three Brick Lane came up like that. And it was pretty nice.
Okay.
I'm very happy to be
It was
a part of
basically an
it.
adventure we three needed after moving back here.
I'm glad that was possible. But then, did you already have the space, or did you rent out a space for Three Brick
The
Lane?
space is Shivam's house part.
Okay.
The
So,
space was already there, and I think we discussed sitting in the space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like a parking space which you've converted to a cafe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the front porch basically of the
Okay.
house
But then, did you require some kind of prior permission to do that?
for the cafe. Yeah.
Yes, for the cafe. So,
Yeah.
what kind of permissions did you have to take?
From my parents basically. That's it.
That's the only kind of permission we needed.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I mean there are rules, right? At the residential areas, you're not supposed to have a commercial space. So, what kind of
No, so
other
it's
permits
basically
that you require?
the idea was we never went very commercial on that,
Okay.
and so it was always an idea of having like a start with like a small boutique cafe. And I mean now the seating is like almost 30, but like we always started with like a very small space because the
Uh-huh.
space was small also as we imagined it to be earlier.
Okay.
So like there's no permission required because like it's in our house itself, and then we're not it's just like a gathering. We wanted to promote as a gathering, like how a Prithvi cafe would function in Mumbai.
Okay, like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
More like ideas coming together and or like people just discussing about what is happening, whereabouts of the whole city.
Mm-hmm.
Because we felt like the city was missing a space and we were not able to interact with a lot of other people.
Correct.
We were always bounded by our own group. We did not know what else is happening in the city.
Mm-hmm. So that is how you came up with the idea. But who decided the ambience and the look and feel of the entire
So I
space?
think for this,
Yeah.
there were a lot of people involved in this. It was not only three of us; it was three of our
Actually, the
families,
family.
so many other people. It was like we realized that it is definitely not only three of us; it's the entire family who came up together,
Family.
and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got this. Like it was a entire process.
See,
Okay.
like I mean, how the community projects work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
They never work out efficiently without the community taking part in it. So I
Correct.
think that was the same part for us. It was not commercial. It was not meant to be commercial as a cafe and run as a as a cafe. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and being in the home itself, a lot of people like they just naturally came. I think as a like our families, my sisters, my mother, my mom, dad, then
Okay.
Neha's parents, Neha's family, Shefali's
Mm-hmm.
family. Like step by step, everything just like people just came at
Yeah,
the right
it
time.
just
They
came
appeared at
Yeah,
the
together.
yeah.
right time
Yeah.
for the right help
Okay.
that we needed.
Right.
And
So,
yeah, that's how it fell in
what is the
place.
seating now? The number of people that can be seated in one place?
It's almost 25 now.
25.
25 to 30,
Yeah,
yeah.
like 30 you can
Correct.
consider. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, how did you decide on the menu? And do you have chefs who decide the menu and cook, or are you guys doing it?
So like Shivam mentioned, it's whatever we do, the whole team, everyone's involved. Even though like our chef, the people who are helping us in the
Acha.
kitchen,
So you
the
hired
people who help
chefs.
us
I
set
thought
up.
you guys were really good cooks, and then you just started up. Ghar ka khana.
We wish it
We
was like
wish,
that,
we
but
No.
wish. The cafe was the major attraction, not the kitchen for us
Yeah.
Okay.
initially. So,
no, I mean, what we were planning was to get the menu right, and but
Uh-huh.
yet not involve ourselves in just that, because the
Okay.
idea was much bigger. So we were like, we'll put our energy to something once this is in place.
Hmm.
To keep
Right.
doing stuff, and because you need to get involved in that first rather than just so I mean our chef was on board pretty much at the right time.
yeah,
Correct.
true.
And but yeah, I mean the menu was pretty much we did our research part, and then it just came
Okay.
up with a lot of
It
inputs
was a
from
tedious
again from
part
the
for
family.
sure. It was like a
Okay.
whole
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
struggle we went
exactly.
through
So, like,
deciding the
I think to
menu.
going on the detail, we actually, like, three
Hmm.
of us decided few ingredients. Like, example, just a small example, like, if you take spinach and onions. So, like, probably Neha would take
Hmm.
spinach, I would take onion, and Shivam would take capsicum. And we decided, like, we would take out 10 dishes of each ingredient. And that is how,
Oh, like
yeah,
that.
and that is how, like, we came up with our menu initially. And
Uh-huh.
another
Yeah.
Okay.
interesting fact about our cafe is that we have a rotating menu. So we keep
Hmm.
changing the menu in every 10 to 15 days approximately,
Correct.
depending
Hmm.
upon the consumption and people are liking the thing. So in case we are also bored of something, we'll actually change it and put some new things. So that's something interesting we keep doing at our cafe.
Yeah, that way the
Correct.
chef also get exposure of experimenting new dishes, and we keep making new dishes every now and then, and we try it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
a fun process for sure.
Because I've seen your page and there's always something new coming up. And that is why I wanted to know. So, what is the current menu that is there? Of course, now it's not functional because of the
Yeah.
lockdown.
So,
But then,
because
what is
of,
the current?
because the cafe's been running since 4 months, so there are few
Yeah.
things which have become staple, like which people
Haha, correct.
really like, and we have to give
Really
them
love and they order all
opportunity.
the time. Yes.
Yeah,
So,
so
what are
there are few
those?
things like beet roti hummus, that's like a hot seller. Then there's
Really?
spinach mac and cheese.
Okay.
Yes.
There's dahi ke sandwich, which is originally Shivam's mother's recipe. So we take
Okay.
recipes from like our home as well. It's not only
Acha.
kitchen recipe or like a professional recipe.
Uh-huh.
And currently the hot seller is also mushroom cheese melt, which we all love and die for.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, you have actually experimented. You've gone far and
Yeah.
wide. And I was
Yeah.
not very far when I said ghar ka khana. So,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
We are
started with a
inspired
very
from.
small menu, but now it has become pretty big.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. There's
So, how
another
did
very
you? Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How did you get people to come to your cafe initially? Like in the beginning phase?
We use the advantage of being from Udaipur and knowing
Acha,
local
so you knew
people.
a lot of people and they just started coming to your cafe.
We knew, so three of us are school friends, like we mentioned. So we knew we had a
Correct.
basic group, right? So it was
Uh-huh.
easier to spread a word initially, like we're opening
Okay.
a place, and we also did a trial for 10 days where we called all our friends on different days and made them tried whatever we were experimenting.
Mhm. Okay. And
So
then you got their
yeah,
feedback
and
and then
then
just started. And word of mouth. Everything is word of
Yeah, so
yeah.
pretty much I think that is another thing. And of course, we spread the word through like social media to the people of Udaipur that there's a cafe coming
mouth.
up like 3 Brick Lane. So, so
Mhm.
it's like a thing ki everyone comes initially and tries everything. And since that time, we have our quite regular people coming up to our cafe and which we really are happy about. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's a great thing for us.
But how enthusiastic are people there? Because mostly in metropolitan cities, you find people going out and eating a lot. But Udaipur, I feel, is more like a household kind of situation, and moms make a lot of interesting food. Because I was at Shefali's place, and I remember how her mom stuffed me with food. So, do people really go out and eat in Udaipur that much?
I wouldn't say much about like eating, like just to eat. But then it's
Hmm.
again it's for a particular type of a place that you would want to go. Like I would personally leave like just to be around the like next to a lake and like sip my coffee.
Acha. Correct.
And so like a lot of essence that I could say is missing in small cities, right? Because
Hmm.
I mean, not all sort of genres are covered when it comes to
Correct.
entertainment, when it comes to places where you can go out. So that way, I think Udaipur
Yeah.
being a small city, it's an advantage obviously to come up with something new.
Yeah.
And then if you're holistically your approach is holistic in that sense, then
Hmm.
I mean, and if you're all out there for the people, then you do come into notice of all. So I mean
Okay.
that's what happened. And somehow, like, I mean, the ambience and everything, it was right basically.
Yeah, true. Another thing which I would like to add to Shivam is, firstly, Shivam has a very, very, very beautiful house. I must say to
That's
that, must
true.
say that. So that the house
Right.
itself is such a great place to be at. Like,
We've
if you,
got
if
so many compliments on that. Like every time people come in, they're like, "Oh, we love the house," and we're like, "Yeah, of course." I mean, that's
yeah,
Shivam's
yeah,
house.
yeah. So like the house is so pretty that it itself has a huge essence that people like, and
Correct.
it's very great that way.
You're right. And I keep on following your page. So you invite a lot of artists to your cafes. So can you tell a little about that? What kind of artists come and what kind of interaction is going on in your cafes nowadays?
So, I mean, Are you taking this answer, Shefali? Then I'll be quiet.
No, it's okay. You have started it, so take it. It's okay. I'm not saying.
So we're open to all sort of artists. We never wanted to restrict the place with any particular genre. We were always open, like be it any artist, whether you make something, you write something, you just want to recite something, and the whole place is out of collaboration.
Correct.
So the whole idea was to, if you have an idea, you come with it. We have a platform. We'll provide you with the platform, and we'll also help you to reach out to people and just put an idea out there, and then people, if they like it, they
Correct.
will definitely come. So we started with like
Nice.
every Friday movie nights. Then we started inviting a
Oh,
lot of artists. So one of them was we did an event in collaboration with Devika, who also does a
acha.
lot of events in Udaipur, and she promotes local artists quite a bit. So that
Okay.
was an open mic. Then we invited Manil Gupta. He's director of the Creative Indians. So
Okay.
he did a painting workshop with us, and then post that he showcased one of his non-ed episode of Nawazuddin with us. So that way we have like a whole
Wow.
different approach. Like people just come. Like one day we just had an impromptu jamming session.
Oh,
So it's
nice.
very like just come and have fun. The whole vibe is about you come, you unwind yourself, you slow down, speak to people around, just share things. That's the whole idea behind the place.
Nice. So you're creating a college katta kind of a vibe where everybody can come, sit, share their thoughts and
Pretty
ideas,
much, yeah.
and just be
Hmm.
themselves. That's nice. So you must be having a lot of young crowd, I
Yeah, that's there.
mostly young.
Not necessarily. I
Yeah.
mean, we've had like
Not
the
necessarily.
crowd that we have been getting is was pretty diverse, I would say, and I mean that was very. I mean that's good to see like that. Like we had some days we have had um, like a couple in their late 50s or something, and then they're just they're enjoying more than the younger crowd that we are having at that particular time. So that's
Okay.
also very interesting to see.
Nice. So it's a beautiful start that you've done. You get a chance to interact with a lot of people with varied interests, and I think this is a really good initiative. So, what about your personal fronts? You two of you are architects, and one of you is a designer. So, how is that going? Who would like to take it
Uh,
first?
I
One
think
of you.
I'd like to take it first. So as I'm
Okay.
an architect and I freelance for now. So I'm in Udaipur only and I'm
Yeah.
freelancing and I did a few projects of cafe and showroom. And right now I'm probably working on
Mhm.
my own firm, I would say. Probably. So I think I'm working on that
Yeah.
and I think pretty much in a month and all I should be there and yeah,
Okay.
come up with the firm. I think that's all for
So you're planning to start your
yeah,
own
yeah.
firm. So did you build your contact base before this?
I think it's been 1.5 years that I've been in Udaipur, and I won't say I have a very elaborate base of contact, but I think the ones which I have are
Mhm.
pretty okay. And eventually, with time, I will develop because anyway, you learn with every project you get, and so
Correct. Correct.
I think that'll be slow and nice. And along with that, the cafe is always there.
So what about you, Neha?
I'm still running the label well, and I'm enjoying it. So Udaipur, being the city it is, you can become very lazy. So you have to constantly keep yourself really occupied.
You're right.
Otherwise, you have like an extremely laid back attitude here. So to avoid that, I'm constantly on the go. I help my father in marble designing.
Okay.
That's how I spend
Right.
my first half, and the second
Uh-huh.
half is between my clothing line cafe.
So,
So
Neha, can you tell a little about the label itself, like Marty? How did you come up with the concept, and what was your journey to
Marty
bring it to
has been
fruition?
really interesting for me. So it's
Yeah.
actually both of them are like babies, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
I just moved back to Udaipur in 2017 after like I studied designing, and once I
Mm-hmm.
completed that I moved back here and I immediately started with my label.
Okay.
I had prior experience in fashion and I'd done all sort of jobs like sales, storefront. I'd done like boutique designing, graphic designing for a shoe designer. So I'd done all
Oh.
different kind of jobs. And then I decided to like go into sustainability because I'm very close to nature itself.
Yes.
And
So when you say sustainability, what does that mean? Like,
so
what do you
I
mean by
make
sustainability in clothing?
So you can never be 100% sustainable, of course, but I mean,
Hmm.
I work on very basic ethos. Like there has to be
Hmm.
zero waste. The colors have to be
Okay.
natural. I have to make
Hmm.
sure that I'm working with the community which does not have enough just to support them without
Okay.
displacing them, without bringing them to metros or without bringing them to cities.
Right.
So just like smaller aspects is what I work on. So
Hmm.
in my production, we make our own fabric. I work with different clusters all over India. So my fabric comes from Bengal.
Oh,
Then my colors are all naturally sourced. So white is from limestone, black is from iron oxide. I source all the
wow.
primary colors and I mix and then I make whatever color palette I want.
Okay.
The third is, of course, like I design and I create the patterns, but then I work with a
Hmm.
cluster near Jaipur in
Hmm.
the village of Gatsinpura. We all come together, we ideate like what is possible, what is not possible.
Okay.
And then the ladies over there, they print and they stitch the garment for me. And then
Okay.
everything comes to Udaipur for me. So Udaipur is like my base right now.
Okay.
And this is where I
Uh,
function from.
yeah. Okay. But then I have one more query. When you talk about stitching and everything,
Yeah.
the sizes of the appropriate sizes of people have been changing over time, right?
Yes.
So how do you decide on which is the standards? Do you follow the standards that are already
See, you can always
set in
make your
scale?
own standards. You never need to follow any rules. You just need to know the basics. So with
Okay.
me, I've considered my body as standard size, where I've made sizes bigger according to my body and smaller according to my body. Plus, the kind of
Okay.
clothes I do is something which pretty much fits all. They're
Mhm.
slightly anti-fit, and they
Okay.
always have an extra comfort somewhere or the other, which is what we call detailings in the garment.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right. So then it is available for all, right?
I'm
Great.
sorry.
I'm glad that you're doing something that I said it's available for all, and it's a very nice venture that you're doing.
Thank
And
you.
I hope that people go and visit your website and
Oh,
just
thank
check
you
it
so
out.
much.
So moving on to Shivam. Shivam, tell us, what are you doing
Thing, I mean, it's pretty straightforward for me because, like, it's practically I'm living the entire routine follows in this one complex because the office is right next to the cafe. But yeah, I mean,
next?
otherwise the work is going nice because I'm working with my dad, and I'm like practically after 7 years I'm back in Udaipur, pursuing architecture,
Okay.
uh, which was never
Mhm.
before. Like, I've never worked with dad before, and like no sort of connection
Okay.
prior to this. And now, I mean, sometimes it gets hectic along with the work and the cafe for the entire day. But then I have both of these two who, like, they got my back every time.
Right.
And that's one good thing that that understanding between three of us is like pretty well. So that works. And
Mhm.
I mean, things are smooth
Right.
like that.
So what kind of projects are you
I'm
working on
mostly
right
taking
now?
care of all the residential and the commercial, all the new projects that after I moved back are sort of on our way.
Mhm.
So yeah, few interesting residential bungalows and some high rises projects. That's it.
But they're mostly
Mostly
in
in
Udaipur.
Udaipur and across Rajasthan, not far. Yeah.
Okay. But it
Actually
is
keeps us
difficult,
sane.
right, to manage both at the same time. How are you managing it? Are you on
Yeah.
rotation, or what is the scene?
We are
Do you all go at the same time, or you just
on
rotate
weekends. We prefer to be there
We
on like together, all three of us. But otherwise, we
at
are
the
just
same time?
taking rotation,
Okay.
and I think we are also learning
Okay.
through the process, like the managing part and getting
Right.
adjusted to the social life, the already existing professions that we are pursuing, and then the cafe, and then everything. So yeah, I mean, sometimes it gets to you,
Yeah.
sometimes it gets very hectic, and but yeah, I mean, we're learning through the process that how to manage things, and then because ultimately all whatever we are doing throughout the days, all are like it's something that is close to us, all the profession, I mean the profession and the cafe. So you have to give 100% at the end of the day. So and if you're not giving it, uh, just like things go bad that day.
True. True.
Yeah, that is true. I agree. I completely agree. So what is the one thing that you would say is the star attraction of Three Brick Lane? Why should I go there as an outsider?
Three of us, to be
Yeah,
honest.
three bricks.
Try meeting us. I'm telling you, you will
Yeah,
be
yeah,
shocked,
it's
to be
fun.
honest.
It's fun. Like, there is a thing that, three of us, like, if we three are not there, the cafe won't be the same. Like, it's three of us holding on to the cafe
Yeah.
and creating that great vibe and ambience. Not like I meant to say we're like super happening people, but we, I didn't
No, it's
vibe,
just the
that
vibe
vibe.
we create.
Yeah.
I think you are just phenomenal at it.
No, I feel you're phenomenal people because I've spoken to you individually before the podcast was recorded. But then, yeah, I completely agree to a point that I would come to meet you people in Udaipur
Yes.
someday. Once
Yeah,
this
Yeah,
lockdown
yeah.
is
we
done.
would.
We are missing the
Yeah.
cafe. This whole lockdown, we realized how sane cafe used to keep us. Even though it was, I mean, things are chaotic sometimes, but we were
Yeah.
just finding a lot
In the
of peace
cafe.
and
For
sanity
sure.
in
True,
that.
true. I
Yeah.
absolutely agree to that.
Peace and chaos kind of situation.
Yes.
I think it is the bonding, right? If just because you get a chance to bond with a lot of people one on one rather than virtually, that makes a lot of
Yeah, that's
difference, I
true.
feel.
And I
Yes.
think
True.
one thing that is unique about us is the homely vibe that the cafe gives away. So that the interaction
Okay.
is like quite natural. It's not like it's something is enforced or like or not or like maybe not every day we wake up thinking that आज इस artist को बुलाना है या आज इससे मिलना है this particular sort. Things just happen
Mhm.
because of I think the energy out there with the three of us and all the team and the family that is now collaborated with us.
Nice. I'm glad. So, do you have any message for your peers who are trying to uh, follow their passion and do their job at the same time? Because you guys are doing that, right? You're doing both the things together. So, do you have any message for
Just
them?
go ahead with it. I think the moment
Yeah,
you do the
true.
reverse math, everything falls apart.
True, absolutely true. I agree to
So
that.
think forget it, of course. But yeah, as long as you don't care about that, just go
Oh
ahead with
God.
it, and
Oh God.
things take along their part.
That's true. I completely agree. Because mostly we sit and overthink about everything, break it down into bits, and then
Yeah,
finally
yeah,
we end up
And
exactly.
not doing it at all.
we do that
Yeah, we
because
have done that.
in this world, I mean, like practically everything is connected. Like
Hello.
all the cities because of social media, you see so many things. So sometimes you're just
Yeah,
demotivated that I mean, what you're doing is not as good as what you were thinking before, or it's not an as
correct.
brilliant idea as I think it would be, and so many things. I mean, there's so many distractions. There's so many contradictions at each point that you're sort of trying to work things out for
Yeah.
yourself. But then I think just go ahead with it and give your 100%, and I think things just work out otherwise.
I
Okay,
agree.
that's an interesting concept. And now I'm coming to the final question. The podcast is called Unsettling, and I usually ask people what is their definition of settled. But you guys are really young, so I don't know whether I should ask you this
Same here.
question. But I still want to know.
Okay, okay, someone wants to go ahead.
Yeah,
Shefali.
you have to. Yeah, someone has to start. I mean, I can't
Shefali,
start with
Okay,
my
fine.
on my own podcast.
So I think for me, settling just scares me a little. So, and yeah, I am
Okay.
pretty much not out there. Like, I'm not even close to S. I'm not even close to that S of settling. So, yeah, I think that's all I would like.
Uh-huh. So, but what in your head? What do you mean by settling? That you've not even reached the S. What is the theory that is going on in your head? When
I
would you
think
say you have
when I'm
settled,
working
according to you?
enough and I'm chilling enough is when I'll be properly settled. Like both. Like I would like to have both of them equally so that if I'm working
Okay.
hard and when I'm chilling, I don't feel bad about the fact that, oh shit, I did not work enough that I'm chilling again. So, like that.
So, Neha, what is your definition of settled?
Mine changes every now and then, I feel. It's because I'm a person of the moment. I'm very happy at the moment, and I got these two people. Uh,
Right.
and I'm so it just depends on how satisfied I am. That is what is settling for me. So
Yeah.
if I am really satisfied with what I'm doing, then I feel I'm settled. And as long as I'm taking care of my expenses on my own, which I have started and I'm proud of.
I'm really glad about it.
Yeah.
That is the most difficult part actually,
Yeah. So at least the basics I've
to
started,
pay your
not
bills.
like day to day, but काफी सारे. So,
Okay.
so yeah, I mean, by the end of the day, I need to feel satisfied about the day and that I'm grateful for whatever I did. And I feel, yeah, that's settling for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
easy.
Shivam, you got a lot of time to think.
Yeah. uh, Settling for me, I think I relate settling down with basically relations, your family, your friends, the people around you. I think, I mean, that's what
Okay.
I relate settling to, because apart from that,
Okay.
whatever you're working on, your work part, your that doesn't, I mean, that I don't think that can ever get settled, because you always keep wanting more, you always
Yeah.
want to keep innovating, you want to do something new. After 2 years we might just not be doing the cafe, or we would be doing something else together. So these are the things that always get
Correct.
improvised along with the time and the need. So I never sort of associate
Correct.
work with getting settled. It's always the time with your
Okay.
people around you, the family. As long as you're breathing fine, as long as you're with them, spending time together. I mean, that's the settling part for me. As long as that is happening right, I am settled. So I would say I'm settled at this age also right now.
I
Doesn't,
would.
yeah, doesn't matter if I have
Wow, that's
money or
that's a
whatever.
beautiful thing.
That'll keep on going. So
So,
Wow. He's
Amrita,
got
do
it
you
like,
see
yeah.
how we three just balance each other out randomly?
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, I didn't expect it from Shivam because he's such a quiet guy. But the
Yeah, like
answer
I
was
felt like
really
doing a
moving.
slow clap from here, Shivam. No joke, just saying. I felt like doing a slow clap.
Yeah, Shivam,
Seriously,
क्या
slow
बात
clap
है
करने का
यार.
मन किया मुझे यहाँ से. Hmm.
Oh God. But yeah, this was good fun. I had a wonderful time discussing with you all about the cafe. And I hope my listeners also go check it out. If you're in Udaipur, of course you will be in Udaipur for vacation. क्यों नहीं जा रहे हो वहाँ पे? And if you are going there, please go check out Three Brick Lane. I'll be adding all the links in the description, and also about Mati by Neha Kabra.
Oh,
You
thank
have to go
you.
check it out. So that's it. That's it from my
Okay.
side. So we're done.
Thank you,
thank you,
Thank you
guys.
for
Amrita.
tuning
Lots of
in.
Hope
love.
you guys
Hoping
had
to see you at
fun.
our cafe soon.
Yay!
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Unsettling. If you have any feedback, please write it in the comments or send me a mail on podcast.unsettling.as@gmail.com or send me a DM on my Instagram page. I'm sharing all the links in the description below. I hope you had fun. Stay tuned. More stories are yet to come.